He has a 1-1 count. That one struck high. Left side. That one's going. That's out of here off the You have to be kidding me. Fireworks. Here you go.
Welcome in, everybody. Baseball for breakfast, or beef, BFB, day 2. My name is Caden Nissen. If you don't know who I am, you'll get to know me pretty well this summer. I'll be hopping around a bunch of ball fields across the state of Iowa. Last night, supposed to be Valley and Ottumwa. Obviously, that got postponed to today, so that's where I will be tonight. I was at Johnson versus Ames. 2 really, really good games. Obviously, Johnson coming out with a sweep, but lots to like if you're Ames. Really competitive in both those games. A ton of fun energy. I had a ton of fun, and really, I'm just excited to get going. Before we do get going, though, breaking down last night's game, drop a like. Show me you kind of like this type of thing. I know it's kind of like a late breakfast or an early lunch today. I'm kind of getting used to what my schedule is going to look like throughout the season, so I'm a little behind. I was working on the scoreboards and today's games to watch, obviously, early this morning. So drop a like. Let me know. Also, Andrew Brown, he killed it last night on the stream. DCG and Ballard. If you tuned into that, he did an incredible job tonight. He is at Bonnarant Farrar in Pella, I do believe. So Bonnarant Farrar, Pella fans, or just Iowa high school baseball fans in general, if you're looking for a game to watch on your night off or something, feel free to tune into YouTube tonight. IA Sports right here. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, and go check him out. He does an incredible job. Again, I'll be with the camera down in Valley and Ottumwa. Without further ado, let's get going. Lots to break down. I'm gonna try and keep these short, 10 to 20 minutes each. So we really got to get going here. Last night, final scores, Class 4A, as I pull up my little sheet here too. Johnson obviously picking up a sweep over Ames. The little Cyclones, Prairie and Linmar split, both those being one-run games, really competitive. Cedar Falls and Iowa City High, that was supposed to be a double-header, I do believe, but it ended up being just one game. City High gets the win 5-1. I'll see if we get any stats from that, because I'm always kind of interested. City High does not have their stats in for that one quite yet. This is just going to be kind of me rumbling with Bound right here, so it'll be a little choppy, but I think that's what'll make it fun. Waukee Northwest getting a sweep on opening day over Des Moines East. Kennedy also picking up a sweep over Dubuque Senior. Grant Mather, 2 home runs, early home run king in the state of Iowa. Shout out to him. He hit 2 bombs last night, and like I said, he's got the early bragging rights across the state. Hempstead also picking up a sweep over CR Jefferson. DCG and Ballard, that's where Andrew was last night. What seemed like a really, really good game. Obviously, the story in that one, the big one really that we're talking about, is Keaton Fenn, 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 15 strikeouts. Tate Perrin came in relief and struck out 2 in the last inning. So 17 combined strikeouts for DCG across 7 innings. You do the math. That is 17 out of 21 batters that the Mustangs struck out. So not a lot of work for their defense, but that's not a bad thing at all. DCG picking up a win. They're number 5 in Class 4A. That was over 3A's number 9 Ballard. And one that kind of was impressive in my eyes, and might be the team that wins my kind of team of the night, the kind of award I'm going to hand out that I'll announce it after talking about all these, is Southeast Polk. They get a win over 3A ranked ADM. ADM is a team I was really high on, and Southeast Polk, a team that we really didn't know much about. Cale Julander, the senior for Southeast Polk, 5 1/3, 3 hits and 9 Ks. He gave up no earned runs, obviously winning that game 5-0. Southeast Polk moving to 1-0 in the 2024 campaign. Moving on to Class 3A here. Number 1, Marion. The Wolves, they pick up a win over 4A's Iowa City West 8-1. Wahlert, they get a sweep over CR Washington, the first game being close, second one being 10-1. Xavier also picking up a doubleheader sweep over Waterloo West. And then a bunch of unranked games. 3A didn't have a ton of ranked action necessarily. I guess some of them were facing 4A opponents as well. But Benton and Boone both getting shutouts 11-0. Obviously, I just posted that video on our socials of Noah Davies of Boone going yard in the opening day. That was a great video. Be sure to send us any highlights, stats, whatever it may be, clips. It's just me and Andrew covering everything across the state of Iowa, so we always take some help. And you guys sending us stats and highlights really helps us out. Bondurant Ferrara, they split with Des Moines Lincoln. They dropped the first game 6-5, win the second one 12-2. And Sadell picking up a win at Newton. Newton's opening their brand new field. Everything looked gorgeous there, but the Eagles, they come out on top. We'll see if they don't have the stats in there. I believe it was Adam Mean picking up 14 Ks in that win. If I saw things on socials correctly from Sadell. And Center Point Urbana getting a win 7-6 over Waverly Shell Rock. Moving over to Class 2A, Beckman Catholic, they pick up a win over 4A foe. Sorry, North Scott, the Lancers. And one of the bigger games of the night last night, two number 3 teams, one of them being in 2A, one of them being in 1A. Van Meter coming out on top 2-1. That was kind of like what the score was last year when I was there. Really low scoring game when these two teams faced on opening day, just because of the pitching and whatnot. Van Meter does not have their stats, and so I'm not sure who pitched. Could be Plague and Cool. Could have been more, I guess. A lot of options for Van Meter there. And West Marshall, they do get revenge. That was one I was going to have my eyes on, a sub-state rematch from last year where West Marshall lost 1-0, and it was no stats, I guess, for West Marshall either on bound. I was assuming Seeger would throw, but here it says Grayson Shaver got the win for West Marshall, so it's giving him credit for the pitching win. So West Marshall, they get a 10-run win in 6 innings, it looks like, over Williamsburg and the Raiders. The Midgets of Esterville Lincoln Central get a win on opening night over Unity Christian, and Des Moines Christian, they get a win over Kemper Catholic. They were up 9-0 in that game. We'll see if we got stats in for that one, because I know Mr. Andrews threw pretty well, as I got Bound pulled up, and I'm just kind of hopping around here. We'll see if we got anything in. Looks like we do. Brady Andrews, sophomore, 5 2/3, no hits, 3 walks, 11 strikeouts. He had Miles Trenkamp and Jack Schmaltz coming in relief. Kemper, it looks like they put up 5 in the bottom of the 7th to make that one a game. But Des Moines Christian moving to 1-0, they win that one 9-5. Eagle Grove picking up a win 16-6 over West Bend Mallard. It's Missouri Valley and the Big Reds starting 1-0. They beat MVAO COU 8-2. And Osage, the Green Devils, they beat the Cadets of Crestwood 15-1. Moving on over to 1A last night. Again, the lower classes did not have as many ranked teams competing, so not too much to talk about here. Remsen obviously starting 1-0. They get a 10-run win. And I believe the only ranked team to lose to a unranked team, I guess we had Southeast Polk be ADM, but as far as same class facing each other, it was Woodbury Central picking up an impressive win over 1A at number 11 Newell Fonda. Some other scores there. Obviously, we got Albernet picking up a doubleheader sweep over East Buck. BGM getting a 1-run win over GMG. Wapsie Valley with a 7-1 win over Waterloo East, which is an impressive win. Lawton Bronson 10-running West Monona. IKM Manning picking up a win, as well as West Central Valley. So that's it for games last night. Now let's quickly get into what we've got to look forward to tonight, which is really a bunch of good stuff, starting with City High and Prairie. Obviously, City High played last night, as well as Prairie did too, I believe. Let me check quick. I've got so many games to give away. Yeah, Prairie, I guess I already talked about them. They split with Linmar, so that should be a good one. Kennedy also back in action tonight against Jefferson. DCG back in action for a second night in a row against Urbandale. We got a good one here. Dowling and ADM. Dowling was supposed to get started with Lewis Central last night. They got rained out. Ottumwa, that's where I'll be against Valley. Believe that is a doubleheader. I guess I should make sure so I can be there on time. But yes, Valley and Ottumwa is a doubleheader starting at 5 o'clock. Excited to see if Tucker Long throws. Obviously, he's one of the bigger names for Ottumwa as their preseason ranked number 8. We've got a Sioux City rivalry, North and East going. Both those teams ranked number 10 and number 11, so you can be sure that some ranking spots are on the line heading into next Monday, where those rankings will be released. Cedar Falls back in action against Linmar, and Pleasant Valley facing out-of-state competition. right there. Let me see what I can pull up on them, if anything. Rock Island, I believe that is out of Illinois. So Pleasant Valley hosting them. That is at Pleasant Valley. Hopping on over to 3A, where we've got North Polk in the Comets, and what should be one of the more exciting games to look out for tonight against Hawkeyes Northwest. Obviously, you don't know who will throw for each team, but you could be seeing Rogge and Cook going tonight for the Comets after Hawkeyes Northwest is coming off a doubleheader sweep. Wahlert Catholic, they've got Dubuque Hempstead. Solon's got Muscatine. Lewis Central, after their rain out, they've got, I believe that's Shenandoah. Let me make sure 100%. Yes, it is Shenandoah. They're on the road at Shenandoah. Xavier's got Iowa City West. Clear Creek commanding the Clippers. They get Regina. Nice little rivalry there. And down in the bottom left, again, that's where Andrew will be. Pella and Bondurant Farrar, the Blue Jays splitting last night. Pella was off yesterday, so they'll get their season going. And Sergeant Bluff Luton facing Council Bluffs. The Jefferson and the Yellow Jackets. Moving on over to 2A as we keep going here. West Marshall is the highest ranked Class 2A team to get going tonight. They've got 3A Grinnell, which should be fun. Pleasantville got rained out last night. They've got Albia. Esterville Lincoln Central has Harris Lake Park. That one should be fun. Sadell getting going again. Home opener for them. They've got Centerville. Kemper Catholic back on the docket tonight. They've got Trainer. Durant. That should not say number 7 there. I'm sorry. I forgot to take the ranking off there. But Durant has Louisa Muscatine to get going tonight. Missouri Valley. They've got Red Oak. And Fort Madison has Meepo in Class 2A. So again, Durant, that little number 7 there, I'm circling it on my screen, but you can't see it on yours. That should not be that. That is a typo. Durant is not number 7 in Class 2A. I will get that fixed before we get that posted. Class 1A, Newman Catholic, they get going after suffering a loss last night. They've got Forest City. Coon Rapids Baird, number 1 team in the coaches poll. They are number 5 in our poll. They've got Ankeny Christian. Alta Aurelia, a team I really like. They've got 3A returning state qualifier in Spencer. That one's going to be a ton of fun to look out for. Gladbrook Rhinebeck is a team that I know was close to receiving votes or close to being ranked in our poll. They've got BCLUW to get going tonight. Wapsie Valley, a team I've heard people talking a lot of pretty highly of. They've got Belle Plaine to get going. Akron Westfield, another team that's kind of just been on the edge of our voting pool. I know our ranker thought about ranking them. They're right up there. They've got Woodbury Central, who's coming off a ranked win last night. Lawton Bronson and Unity Christian get going. I believe Lawton Bronson's coming off a 10-0 run rule win over West Monona. And speaking of West Monona, they got Logan Magnolia tonight. So that's all I got here. That was 12 minutes. I think as we get going, I'm gonna get better at this. I know it's a little raw right now. I think I'm gonna focus more on covering last night's games instead of covering tonight's games, if that makes sense. So just stick with me as we get going. This is a brand new thing to me. I'm still getting used to slotting this in my schedule. Again, BFB Baseball for Breakfast. Appreciate you tuning in. Go ahead and drop a like. Keep an eye on YouTube. We got a ton of stuff going on. Again, Andrew streaming tonight. Bondurant for our Pella. If you've got nothing going on, go ahead and check that out. Drop a like. Comment something nice in there because I know Andrew checks those. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Again, this is day 2. This is Tuesday, May 14th. And I'll see you tomorrow morning, guys.